the simple reality is that at this point, Democrats can look back over the last 80 years and they can see again and again that when they put a president in who doesn't deliver in the way that FDR did, and FDR, imperfect, had his flaws, but delivered again and again on promises that he made, and won every presidential election he was involved in and every off-year election, kept his majority all the way through. When they let that down, as Harry Truman did after taking over from FDR, lost the 46 elections, lost his governing majority. We ended up with Taft-Hartley undermining labor. As Jimmy Carter did, Jimmy Carter comes in, does not govern in a bold way, breaks with labor on a bunch of issues. 78 has severe setbacks in congressional races, loses the presidency in 1980. Bill Clinton comes in, big majority, sides with Wall Street on NAFTA, sides with Wall Street on GATT, does a weak and ineffectual healthcare reform plan, loses his governing majority in 94. Barack Obama comes in, huge majorities in the House and Senate, does not do single payer, does a much more mild healthcare plan, which I respect, and I'm pleased with much of what he did, but then also does a mild response to the Great Recession, not a bold, job creating major response, and loses his governing majority. I mean, this is not complicated stuff. No. This is a very simple model, and it happens again and again. It's like watching, Charlie Brown and Lucy with the football. And so,
do things people like. Yeah. How about that? I mean, that is really insane to me. Just speaking of the ACA briefly, I think one of the moments of the most political dissonance that I saw during the Trump years was when Trump and Republicans tried to repeal the ACA. And suddenly you had town halls and people coming out who vote Republican who said, no, you better not.
We kind of like this thing.
Yeah, that's so important. And Democrats need to understand that and study it and realize just how popular these programs are and do more of them. Continue to keep on telling people what you did. And yes, there are provisions in the Build Back Better Act that obviously expand the ACA and help some folks, not enough. And I believe make more stipulations on expanding Medicaid.
It's actually, as it was originally drawn,
it
was the most significant expansion of Medicare and Medicaid in modern times. It was drawn in a fabulous way. And you two are not old enough to understand how attractive the Medicare expansion was, because people on Medicare don't get their vision, dental, and hearing covered. They put that in. That's huge.
Now you only get your ears.
I know. Why? I wonder what, because this is actually a philosophical construct, right? They always say, like, if you had to lose a sense.
Right.
And it's like, why did they? I mean, I'm glad that they're going to put the hearing in, but who was sitting there saying, yeah, we're not going to do vision.
Yeah.
Did they draw straws? Did they Rochambeau for it? Like, what was the process?
They're like, do you like music or food better? And then it's like, music. All right, lose the teeth. No teeth for old people.
No,
this is like some horrible
They're
Squid
eating
Game.
soft. They're eating yogurt anyways.
The thing about it is, it's sort of like the calculus is so cruel. It's like, because I mean, my mom's got some hearing problems, and so I'm really glad that the hearing's in there, and her vision's pretty good. So that's maybe I came out a winner. But what if you got somebody who needs the vision, right? Or somebody who needs the dental, and at some fundamental level, I just believe that if you actually fought for the whole thing, you'd get all the vision voters, all the dental voters, and all the hearing voters. And that's a lot of people. Rather than just doing one part of it, why not do the whole thing?
Absolutely.
And build out a movement that might win.
You got to keep them wanting more.
The final thing I'll just say is we all know that part of the reason people don't dislike government is because of bureaucracy. And there's nothing more bureaucratic than an $800 coupon or or a means tested access to some provision, or a thing that you had to fill out a bazillion pieces of papers.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, people have to do, taxes level paperwork to get access to anything. Of course, we don't like government or how things are run, and we wouldn't want to but that's, again, we miss the point, because actually universal programs don't have as much bureaucracy.
No.
Well, like in most countries around the world, like, they don't complain about their healthcare plan system because it's not hard.
Yeah.
If you're sick, you actually get care, and stuff like that. And, the thing about it is I know we're going on and we're way too long here, I'm sure.
It's great.
But one final thing too. I mean, I believe that the Democrats failed to sell this thing. And I don't think it was intentional. I think that there's just such an insiderism. Bernie Sanders begged them to go out and sell it. Progressives begged him to go out and sell it, but they're all like, no, we can do this behind closed doors. We can, we get together around the table, we'll sort this thing out.
Yeah.
And so they didn't go out and sell it. And I'm thinking, this was one of the easiest things to sell, like in the history of politics.
Yes.
You're selling vision, dental, and hearing for older folks. You're selling an massive extension of caregiving, so that older folks who may need care can stay in their homes, and people with disabilities can get that little bit of extra care they may need, so that they can work and do more. They're freed. They're doing, universal pre-K. They're doing things,
it was paid family leave. Yeah. Family leave. I mean, which applies to everyone, right? It's not just new parents, right? It can apply to older folks as well when it comes to having a sick relative.
And it applies to Republicans and Democrats.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's universal.
And then it's just like you go down the list, and like free community college for working class kids, so that they can actually get an education. I mean, how can you not succeed in selling this? Like, how hard is it to go out and sell universally popular things to people who are feeling a little battered after a pandemic? You would think, yeah, that I can do, but they didn't. And now they're in a situation where they're literally talking about saying, well, Joe Manchin says we can give you hearing, but we can't give you vision.
Which essentially makes him king too. I mean, it all sort of feeds into whatever the hell future political career he has.
It's hard to sell these things when the people you're trying to sell it to actively profit off of you not having these things,
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.